As I'm sure you're all aware, not everyone with superpowers decides to use them to be a superhero. Some would rather use them for evil. We call them supervillains.
I can feel the spark starting to fly.
Welcome to Fanboy and the Snob. I'm Chad.
I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about the Netflix anime series
Super Crooks.
Super Crooks, originally a Mark Millar comic.
Set in the Jupiter's Legacy universe. But it's not as bad as that garbage live-action show.
Yeah, that was awful. Right when I saw the first image of, what's the superhero's name?
Which one?
White hair guy?
The Utopian or something
Right
like
when I
that?
saw the picture of him, I'm like, ooh.
It was Josh Duhamel, and I was like, I know this is going to be bad. But I
Yeah.
watched it.
Which I don't hate that guy, but I don't think he should be a superhero.
Every time I see him, I think of the first Transformers movie and him shooting a machine gun at a giant metal scorpion. That's all I'll ever see him as. Army Man shooting a machine gun at a scorpion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, this show's way better.
Yeah, it came out at the same time as the live-action one, right? It was supposed to be like a dual release.
Really?
Yeah, but because the live-action one bombed so fucking hard, this just slid under the radar and no one watched it.
It sucks. It's a nice little 13-episode limited series.
I wouldn't mind seeing a second series.
I know. I
kinda-
like how they left it off.
Yeah.
If you're going to do different characters, you got to make them interesting.
I just want to see more of the Diesel brothers.
I wouldn't mind a spin-off show with just them.
Yeah, in their wrestling career or whatever. Yeah. The Diesel brothers were my favorite. That's what I was on YouTube and I was watching, because we talked about Batman the animated series with Andrew, so I fucking was like watching clips and stuff. And then this came up in the recommended. It was Praetorian versus Gladiator, and I thought it was like some fan-made animation. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. You know, let's see what this little autistic kid like. Let's see his universe. And then I was like, holy shit, this is actually really well animated. So I googled it, and then I was like, wait, Studio Bones? They did that Academia show you like, My Hero Academia.
Aren't they the ones that did Cowboy Bebop the movie and Sort of a Stranger?
And that's what hooked me was Sort of a Stranger and the Cowboy Beat. And I was like, oh.
More Sort of Stranger, see our review.
Yeah, so I was like, so this is going to be like really well animated.
Yeah, it wasn't as crisp as those, obviously.
It was definitely made on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, but it still looked really nice.
When they wanted it to look nice, it looked...
It didn't have same face anime.
Yeah, right? Are you starting to notice how same face fucking sucks? But it's kind of like, did you ever read the Sinister Six run where Captain Boomerang like got it back, and it was Captain Boomerang, a female Beetle, Shocker, and this guy who could like
Are those different universes?
No, that was the main this was going on during
Yeah, but Captain Boomerang's on Flash, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's also in Marvel.
Is he?
It's kind of like having Captain Marvel in both universes. It's just but Boomerang doesn't sell as well, so no one cares that there's two Captain Boomerangs. But anyway, yeah, it just had that fun little like ragtag group of villains fucking doing a heist.
It's like a better version of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
We are rooting for the villains and everything.
And I like these villains are like, we have a no-kill policy, but then the heroes are just killing everybody.
I'm going to put out here, we're going to spoil.
Yeah, spoiler cast for sure.
I love the end. I'm going to jump to the last episode where...
We should just tell our favorite parts. That's the best way to get someone to watch it.
Johnny pretty much... Gladiator fights...
we should tell the characters.
Alright, let's go through the characters first.
Okay, so first, we got our main character, Johnny Bolt.
Now, I just want to say one thing. They showed the beginning. The first episode shows him as a kid.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't know who your father is. I thought that he was going to come in the show later on and Johnny was going to be the father.
Oh.
That's what I thought they were going with. I didn't know it was like way in the future and he just was a villain.
I mean, it goes, he's like, I know exactly what I'm going to be. And then it cuts to him in prison with the same smile. You couldn't put that together.
I thought they were just showing his dad. His dad has the same personality and everything.
God,
that might have been kind of cool.
No, because it's way better to see the kid, like, want to be a hero, fuck up, and then say, fuck it, guess I'm a villain.
Yeah, the first time he gets his powers, he tries to, like, wow a girl and everything.
He tries to announce himself to the town as their protector.
So the genius kid goes above a pool, tries to fly with his electric powers. He still can't handle it. I like how in the show he never really flies either.
Yeah, he's like, after that one time, he was like, never again.
But he tries to fly, but then a bully starts making fun of him because he had the dumb mask on.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, that's Johnny.
That's Johnny.
Everybody
Bolt.
laugh at him.
What a nerd. And then he's like, I'm not a nerd. And then he falls in the pool.
Kills everyone in the pool.
Everyone.
So I like how the show starts out as kind of like a My Hero Academia kind of thing. It wasn't really mature. Then it just goes haywire. Everybody just dies.
It shows a pool full of people, like 30
children.
people. Children, yeah, getting electrocuted to death. Then the people run out of the community pool, which causes a truck to crash into a church, which makes the spire from the church crash into a Taco Bell and a gas station, which makes a guy crash and blow up. And it's like, at the end of the day, like maybe 100 people died, all because he fucked up.
He didn't even get arrested or anything.
Nope, they gave him coffee. They gave him a little hot cocoa. And then he's like freaking out, and then he slams the wall, and the ATM turns on, and he goes, "Oh."
And his little photographer friend's like, "Oh, look at that."
And he's like, "Don't be a villain." I thought the photographer friend was gonna be like the bastard or something.
I'm glad they did what they did with him.
Just leave him out of it after
Yeah, and
it's done.
then at the end he sends him like the thing and everything.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. But yeah, then we have Casey, his girlfriend. What's he called?
Honey Bear.
Honey Bear?
Yeah.
Something about that character reminded me of Redline.
It felt very like I like Japanese like machismo guys are all like shitty one-liners and like cheap suits and stuff like that. I love that trope.
No, but Casey has the power of mental manipulation.
Like
hardcore.
Like hardcore, like on tier with like fucking Professor X. Like
Yeah.
she can fuck with your head completely.
Man, she does such cool shit in the show.
She fucks with Praetorian. Like she saves her boyfriend's life.
Yeah, at one point he's fighting with all his like bad. We didn't even write down those guys' names.
No,
like,
there's like
there's
there's
the
a
luck
guy,
one, there's the ice one,
powers,
and there's a teleport one.
the teleporter guy.
Then the luck guy.
No, there's luck guy, ice guy, teleporter guy, Johnny Bolt. They had 3 motorcycles, right?
Yeah, 3
And
with
one was a
on the
tandem
sidecar.
bike. Yeah, 4 characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like his shitty like
high school friends.
He grew up with them. They've been doing villain shit. Like their big plan is to rob 10 jewelry stores at once. And then they're like, "So how much did you guys get?" And they're like, 8,000 a piece. And it's like, that's it? You got your teeth knocked out by the Centurion for $8,000 bucks? Praetorian.
But there's one point where the Praetorian comes and catches him, and he just like beats the shit out of him. Now, so he gets to Johnny.
Praetorian has 200 superpowers, and it's just
Random.
luck of the draw.
He has this little deck of cards. Like, which one am I gonna get now?
Ooh, stone skin, laser eyes, rad.
But instead of beating up Johnny, he's like, "I'm gonna let you go. You're never gonna do this again, right?"
Although that scene where he punches Johnny and Johnny goes fucking tumbling into the car, and then he goes, "All right, boom, let's go." I was like, "Oh fuck, let's go, Johnny. Let's see what you can do." But then
it's such an unfair world where they have like the tanks, like Gladiator.
Yeah, where you just can't beat him up. You got to do other fuckery shit with him, like manipulate him.
Yeah.
Super hard.
So basically, Casey manipulates him to let him and his friends go.
And they promise to never do crime again until they do.
Flies off.
Yeah.
And this is the day after he got out of prison.
Right.
So Casey's like, "Don't do this job."
Yeah, and he did it anyway.
Yeah.
And then he, again, gets drunk with his friends, and they're like, "Let's go rob ATMs." And they just get...
The night before he was supposed to get married to Casey.
And then he's running up the stairs, and he's like, "I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail." And who's at the top of the steps? Fucking Gladiator. Just boom! Knocks him out with a single punch. And he's in jail for 5 years. And then he gets out of jail, and he goes to find Casey, and she's like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
And that's when the Heat is like, "Hey, I have an idea to make money."
Right? Don't go too far ahead.
Yeah.
But basically, then you have like the super boss guy.
The bastard.
His name is Chris the Bastard.
Chris the Bastard. He's like the kingpin, and...
You can blow your head up.
Yeah, he can just blow your head up with a thought. So he runs this giant criminal empire that's even like sort of taking over the government, like the prison's in on it.
Pretty much he donates to the Supermax, they call it.
Yeah, he donates billions of dollars.
And he is in charge of anything a villain does. If you commit crime in anywhere his territory is, he gets 30%.
And if you don't, he blows your head up.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't blow your head up. He kills your wife, he kills your kids, he kills your parents, he kills your kids' teachers in school. He kills everybody around you until you're finally going, "Dude, okay, when's it my turn?" And he's like, "No.
Him and Kingpin would be best friends.
Yeah.
I think Kingpin would be like, "Dude, chill."
I think Kingpin would be like, "I gotta kill this guy. I gotta get rid of him before he gets rid of me."
But then we mentioned Gladiator already. He's just a fucking moving tank.
He's like, his superpower is just being really, really, really tough.
Yeah.
And like really good at fighting. He's a gladiator. You know, like
He's taking bullets like nothing.
He doesn't have any super special power beyond super strength and super durability, but that's all he fucking needs.
When the heroes get him, he's like, they're trying to transport. What was his name?
TK McCabe, the telekinetic guy.
They're trying to transport TK McCabe, and he's like,
Now,
"All right,
wait,
get in the plane."
TK had the funniest intro where he's stealing the keys out of the girl's purse, and then he starts her Lamborghini up, and Gladiator's just like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Really?" Like, and then they're like, "Wow, you got caught. You were on vacation. He was on vacation. Like, talk about luck."
What do you think Gladiator was doing in Florida?
Hey-o. Wearing his tights and beating the shit out of car thieves, apparently.
Finding dudes.
Finding dudes.
He had a cool power though. He was like telekinesis. So
He was like god tier.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, all these villains have like, you think like, oh, Johnny Bolt, all he can do is control electricity, but no, he can like erase data from computers. He can
snapping his fingers, lighting a cigarette. That's the coolest.
I was like, if I could have one just to do that, that would impress people.
Start smoking again.
I like when TK's like, well, you gonna do it? And Johnny's like, oh yeah, right. He's like,
because him and TK were in prison together.
Yeah.
But another character, we have Carmine, aka the Heat,
who's like he's like a golden age villain. Like
he doesn't have any superpowers, but he's super smart.
Then he's got these flame guns.
I love when he finally gets the shoe. He's like, I'm waiting for this.
He's like, you saved this for me, Johnny. Oh, and he just melts it, and he's like, all right. Even though like any of the other characters could have dealt with the door easily, they're like, you take it, old man.
It was funny though.
Yeah.
Then we have Sammy Diesel.
The Heat also claims to have never been arrested. And
the stories claim to never be arrested.
But every photo is him getting arrested, and they're like, he's like, I don't know.
He's like, yeah,
go with
good reputation.
Yeah, good reputation. And never kill. Never kill is a big thing with them. Because there are villains who kill people left and right, and this ragtag group is a no-kill group.
Yeah. We'll get to the heroes after.
Yeah.
Then we have your two favorite characters.
Yeah.
Sammy Diesel and Roddy Diesel.
They're just dudes with healing factors.
Sammy Diesel's like the skinny, scrawny, crackhead looking guy.
Yeah, he's on drugs and drunk all the time.
They're both wrestlers.
Yeah, they're heels, right? So
he's
Roddy's
Roddy.
the big one. Sammy's the little one.
That's Sammy.
Yeah. Their intro to see how their powers work is them jumping out of a fucking plane with no parachutes. Sammy just
no, the intro was them in the bar fighting each other, and they get the fingers cut off and everything.
Yeah, and he's like, you bitch. And then
I was like, all right, these guys are gonna be in the show.
But as they're beating each other up, they're stealing too, because it's like, if you're gonna fight, might as well steal.
I do love it when they jump out of the plane. Yeah, the plane or whatever. Fucking Sammy just falls into the propeller.
With a flying kick, he's just, and then just straight into the propeller, and you just see Gladiator like, what? Just covered in blood.
I love the fight with him and Roddy.
Roddy's fight was
getting
cool.
The shit beat out of him, fucked up, and
and then you see it slowly heal back. Or when his jaw was hanging, he's like,
This is one of my favorite of the healing factor type stuff. Imagine a Wolverine movie where
they did it that good.
Yeah.
They have Deadpool level healing. Wolverine's a little slower than that. They're faster than, it's to the point of where
yeah, because I don't think can Wolverine grow his arm back like that fast?
No.
Once his arm's off, it's off, right? Yeah, he gets his hand cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool can grow limbs back. Wolverine can't.
But Deadpool takes a day or two. When they're running down that laser hallway, it's literally and then it's back, and they're still running, and it's.
Yeah, I think they might have been some of my favorite characters.
Yeah, they were definitely my
favorite. I like the scene when Johnny's like, "Aren't you wrestlers? Shouldn't you know how to fight?" He's like, "On stage."
he goes, those matches are fixed. As he's laying on the ground. I like when the machine gun turrets come up and they're like, get behind us, and they just tank all the bullets because they have the healing factor, but then they die because, remember when they die?
Yeah, because they turned off
their powers. So Sammy dies and Roddy's like, fuck, and he just runs into the crowd and starts punching and dies.
That was a cool scene.
And then they turn the powers back on and they come back to life and they're like, oh, you're screwed.
Salamander.
Salamander is...
Going to Salamander. He's the underling.
He's the second in command of the criminal empire. What do they call it? The Syndicate? Isn't that what it was called? Or something like that. The company. Something like that.
Something like that. What are you going to do? He's just a guy to be there to take over. To be kind of the... He was
the bastard's he was grooming him to take over in retirement. His power, I think, is he can teleport objects. Because we only get to see him use his power once. And then the other time, we see him 3 times. Once when he's standing with the bastard, once when he kills that guy, and then once when the bastard's like, hey. So, we don't really get much of the Salamander.
Yeah.
Ghost was pretty cool.
Ghost is cool. Josh.
He's a smarmy, shit-talking, nice suit habit. He's Johnny, but, with money.
Yeah. And as you can tell, he can
Yeah.
He's like Kitty Pryde, pretty much.
Yeah, he's Kitty Pryde. And he also has no kill rule. He uses guns that like inject you and make you hallucinate and stuff. So yeah, remember he shoots all the guards. Gladiator's like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, did you kill him? It's like, relax. It's not. It's like sleeping gas or whatever. I think when he goes into the cockpit and he's like, "You guys have guns?" and they're like, "No," and he goes, "All right, sit tight." And then he just goes back.
I do like it's a very Mark Millar thing to have villains not kill and the superheroes just
Be the douchebags. Yeah.
Because at one point they're fighting, what was his name? Rubber Ball, and he basically turns into like a giant rubber ball,
right?
So he's like fucking tanking the city and everything, like destroying
blowing,
buildings.
yeah, when he just
people.
goes through they're not called brownstones. That's what they're called in Boston. But whatever those thin buildings in San Francisco on their streets, I forget what they call them. But he just tears down a whole fucking neighborhood.
And even at one point, they're like,
"Dude, you're killing people."
What do you say? It's like necessarily.
The ice guy was like, he's like, "You're the one killing people," and he was like, "Necessary losses" or something like that.
Well, even fucking Man Mountain.
Yeah,
he killed a bunch of people.
But then I think they killed him because when he hits the chemical gas plant.
Hey, it wasn't their fault. He was just being clumsy.
I mean, luck. He just gets hit by a drone and then hit by another one.
Before we talk about Praetorian more, let's talk about Forecast, because he has a really cool power. And
Forecast
it was
is
clever.
Storm.
Yeah, he's Storm, but it was clever how they did it.
Yeah.
I like that whole scene when he's just like, "You could have my umbrella." He's just walking through the rainstorm.
But it's sunlight around him.
Yeah.
And then fucking Heat's like, "Stop being so obvious!" Oops. This is my first villain team up. I don't know what's going on. I like just some like homeless black dude who's like controls the weather. So it's like he'll never
sells umbrellas.
But he'll never be cold outside, so why bother having a house?
Yeah.
It's never gonna rain on you. It's never gonna snow on you. He can control weather and temperature, it looked like, too.
It looked like he had way more control than Storm does. Too.
Remember when they were about to fight in the bar and he makes the clouds around them? The thunder clouds? Like, he creates a thunderstorm in a localized area and is like, "Come on." And he's just, like, casually drinking and doing it.
Even when they break in the safe, he just, like, makes the whole room freeze, so they freeze the safe, and then they just blow it up.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I've never done this before." And then he does it.
But the Praetorian, I don't know why we can't pronounce his name.
Praetorian.
He's all the way at the end over there.
Yep. Big red dude right here.
I love his character design.
Yeah, I thought it was cool when he got the stubble in the jacket, too.
Yeah. That's him not giving a shit.
Yeah.
Basically, he's the dirtiest hero working with the bastard.
Yeah, he's a scumbag superhero who even the fans are like, "Wow," like when they're giving the news report, like, "The Praetorian showed up." He's known for his harsh brand of justice, and then we see what that fucking looks like, where he's fucking stomping on the ice guy's face, going beaten to death, and then he's like kicked to death. He's just like listing how he's killing these people, and thank God fucking Casey shows up.
Yeah, they were bugged.
Dude, remember when Sammy breaks his finger on his eye?
Yeah,
I was like,
that was so cool. He was shooting like the eye lasers, and the guy just.
Sammy runs up and dodges them, and he's like, "I'm just gonna poke your fucking eye out," and then it breaks on his eye.
What's it cool? I don't know if we should have read the comic, but
yeah,
I heard it's not that good. It's only 4 issues.
I heard the comic. The problem with the comic was like the characters were boring, and it felt like a knockoff of Ocean's 11. Whereas this, like the characters felt more fleshed out, and it didn't feel like a knockoff of Ocean's 11.
The problem with Mark Millar is he goes too ham sometimes into like the kind of shock stuff.
This is the face that's fucking you in the ass. The worst. That made me.
I don't think they said that in the comic.
Yes, that's the very last panel is a splash page zoomed up on his face with him pointing to himself and a little word bubble. "This is the face that's fucking you in the ass."
Kick-Ass was awesome till I think the third.
I only read the first 2.
The third one was kind of meh. But I loved the first 2. I thought they were fun. But I was also a lot younger when I read them.
The movie wasn't bad. Wanted was terrible.
Wanted movie.
That
Wanted
garbage.
movie was fucking.
It was just
nothing to do with the comic.
It was just the name.
Comic, they're all supervillains
that travel to other realities to kill superheroes.
Yeah, because there's no more superheroes.
Yeah.
They killed them all. And that's a cool premise.
And then there's that guy who owns Africa or whatever, who like the other villains are like, "We don't like you." And then there's like a little civil war, remember? Where like the Lex Luthor villain takes the main character under his wing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked that book.
There was no fucking what was it in the movie?
Spider-Man getting his dick sucked by a man and then jumping out the window with guns.
No, the stupid thing where they were finding their missions through like the printing press thing or whatever it was. That was where the fuck did they come up with that?
I don't know.
That was so stupid. They had to see Angelina Jolie's butt, so
Yeah, but you can just watch Beowulf,
yeah, but it was animated.
so it's perfect as opposed to real life.
They touched it up and.
Anyway, back to
the
Super
show.
Crooks. What'd you
Yeah,
think of the soundtrack?
I loved it.
I loved it too.
The opening song, I was like, I got this. Yeah.
Opening song, I was like, I'm gonna hate this or love it. There's no in between.
It was one of the ones where I listened to it. I didn't skip the intro the first few times, but then I tried to watch it.
You gotta skip the intro.
But I love it's whimsical kind of the soundtrack. It was kind of. It didn't remind me of.
It's like funk, like 70s.
Not like Cowboy Bebop, but
that's jazz. This was more like
this
70s
is more
funk.
upbeat. Like yeah,
Like almost disco. Almost disco.
it was fun.
Yeah.
And it fit the mood of the scenes well too. It wasn't just like a lot of animes where they have like.
But I noticed when the luck guy was fighting Praetorian, the song that was playing in the background was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I was like, that's royalty free music. And I was like, okay, so this show's cheap. All right, I get it. Like you can't afford to have fried green onions or something playing, so it's like you'll just take a royalty free song and funk it up a little bit.
I enjoyed the music though.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
The animation was great, like we said.
Very little 3D, which I liked.
Yeah,
It was like really the motorcycle chase scene was.
It wasn't noticeable.
The big glaring 3D was the motorcycle chase.
It wasn't like Dragon Ball Z Brawly, where you could tell the CG.
Dude, what about the fake zombie crisis?
That was awesome.
That's so
the
cool.
necromancer guy. I want to see if I could think about that dude.
But I just like that all it was he was just moving the bodies with his mind and then
floating the necromancer up in the air, acting like he was controlling him.
And fucking I forgot his name.
They had a cool homage in Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The two characters that see it, like characters from the beginning.
I started a list of all the little references that I was noticing, and then I was like, I'll be doing this instead of watching the show, so I stopped. But yeah, there was that. A lot, There was a lot of references in the first episode. There was a lot of like the show. It references a lot of comic books.
Yeah.
And like pop culture, which is fine. But yeah, what's his name? Stormfront. Why am I forgetting his name? Weather Kid. Forecast. Stormfront's from The Boys. He's a Nazi. He's so cool. Forecast is like, he's like, all right, like TK's like, all right, we're gonna make this look good. And he's like, you're right. So he starts adding thunder and lightning and wind and rain. And then when the Utopian is having the big like necromancer moment, the thunder's going in the background, and you know that they're sitting on the roof like
Then it gets ruined because Gladiator finds him.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you citizens doing here? And they're like, no, nothing. And then TK's like,
don't look at me. He's like,
please don't
hey, who are you? He's like, oh, just some guy.
Just some guy. And he runs away because Gladiator's the one that arrested him.
I love how, because their first original plan just goes fucking awful because Praetorian just fucking takes them all out.
I like how Praetorian blows up the helmet and they're like, what? And he goes, you think we'd keep the real thing up here? And they're like, that makes sense. They're running away.
The best thing about this show too is all the tropes and stuff they make fun of, but not in a way to make it like
not like in like a Rick and Morty where it's like
it's like it makes sense that they're doing it.
It's goofy. Yeah. There's just enough fourth wall break that it doesn't feel like they're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Where it seems like in character for the character to be like, wait, huh?
I watched the trailer and I was like,
and then I annoyed you for like,
it could be fun. Then you're like, we need to do a video on it. So 3 days I watched it and I'm like,
I watched it in a sitting. I saw it was free on Netflix, and I was playing the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is I'm having fun. I didn't think I'd have fun, but I'm kind of like, before I came over today, I had an hour, and I started my PlayStation up, and I was like, if I start, I'm gonna be late. But yeah, I was watching it on my phone because I had Twitch up on my computer, and then I wound up pausing the game and shutting my computer and just watching it on my phone. It's the first time I've ever watched anything on my phone.
I watched the whole show on my phone, to be fair.
Yeah, so I watched all of it in one sitting, all 16 episodes in one sitting. Just banged them out because it's quick. Like, it starts off really slow, but then once the momentum gets going, they were like, what, 42-minute long episodes?
Not even, they were 20-something minute episodes.
All right, yeah, but it felt like 10-minute episodes is what I'm saying, but not in a bad way. Like,
that's what good anime does. It fucking flies by, and then you're like, God damn it, I want more.
Like, when they first, when he reveals that they're going to break into the Hall of Justice or whatever, and
I'm stretching.
Oh, you see, I like Roddy's reaction was just, don't think, leave. We're leaving. We're done. Don't think about it. But like, that was the episode where I was like, okay, I gotta see what happens next. I gotta see what happens next.
I'm so glad they didn't stick with the other team and they got the new characters in.
The new characters were great.
Out of all of them, which power would you want? Not the Praetorian, though.
Not out of the villains?
Out of all of them.
Out of all of them? Dude, the healing factor.
Oh, you want the healing factor?
The healing factor. It's just too good.
Yeah, if it works that fast, I think me and you would have fun with it.
We could do anything. You could do anything.
I don't want Casey's power because I don't want that kind of stress.
Yeah, that seems... her big reveal at the end. So cool.
Basically, she just like
So
fucks the bastard.
So
crazy. She
doesn't want to go on the last heist, which is to rob the bastard's bank. So she goes to an airport, and the bastard winds up picking her up and being like, haha, I captured you. And then he's like torturing her and making her watch as like Johnny and the boys fuck up constantly. But then Gladiator beats the shit out of Praetorian, and the bastard's like, what the fuck? Well, whatever, I'm still gonna kill you. And then he kills Casey, and you're like...
And like we were saying before, like, it's a
Miller.
Mark Millar comic, so I thought they fucking killed her.
Because, like, he does that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to, it's called subverting your expectations. So when her head popped, I was like, okay, comic book thing is she's not dead. Mark Millar thing could be dead. So dead. I was genuinely like, oh, is she dead or not? Like, it actually got me. And then
it slowly introduces that because it just shows her and all the stuff, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck with her. I do not want that power.
So like the thing with the bastard is like psychics can't, like, they just, you know,
I think he can do more than blow up brains. I think he has like a
I think he's the most powerful psychic, and he's so strong he can pop people's heads.
Yeah.
I like when he's leaving the prison and that guy's head pops, and the salamander was like, is that you? And he goes, I don't know anymore. It's just like, damn.
Yeah, they had the two guards, and the girl's phone kept going off every time they would pass by.
The other guy was like, fucking stop!
And her head didn't even blow up, it was the dude's.
That's the bastard. Guy's a real bastard.
That is a very Mark Millar name for a villain, too.
Oh, yeah.
At least it's not like the motherfucker.
Yeah, that was so bad. The motherfucker, or Big Daddy, or Hit Girl. Yeah.
Big Daddy had it.
For once, he actually had some pretty good superhero names.
Yeah.
Super powered people's names.
I think this might be... I can't even say it's my favorite thing he did, because I don't know if the comic's that good.
I heard... I went on Metacritic, and obviously you ignore the 1-star reviews and the 10-star reviews. You go to the 5s and the 7s, and everyone's like, it was okay.
That's what I don't know. Everything I heard about the anime, people were like, fucking cool.
I read one review that was like, this is just another gateway into disgusting pedophilia degeneracy by the Japanese people. And I was like, you have issues, my friend.
This is like the most anti-anime that's been out.
It's Japanese people doing a superhero story. I fucking love when I love when Western audiences or Western people try to make anime if it's good, like Avatar. And I love when Japanese people try to make like Western things like this. And...
I don't think I would mind certain studios doing comic book shows. I don't want it to be like the Wolverine anime they did back in the day.
This is one of my favorite adaptations of a comic book.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like,
it was great.
Better than better than the Avengers, the first one. Better than fucking... not as good as Spider-Man 2. But it's up there. It's close. That's the fucked up part.
Yeah. It was a fun, quick watch.
Yeah.
It didn't overstay its welcome. It wasn't too short where you're like, oh, I want more.
Characters were likable.
The ending, perfect.
The plot was awesome.
Yeah. I'm reading things people are saying. They're like, they didn't develop the characters enough. They only did Johnny and Casey. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
Because Johnny and Casey are the main fucking characters.
But even so, it's between the interactions of all of them. Especially
bits.
Fucking the brothers.
The brothers are hysterical. I like that it's revealed that Roddy did go to fucking Princeton And he did invent a time
He
machine.
spent all his money on a time machine. Now he's gonna be super rich from that.
Yeah.
He just wanted a
What did Sammy do with his money? Booze and women.
booze and hose. And he didn't look happy. Couldn't have looked happier.
She's sitting on a pile of naked women, surrounded by drugs. Just big old smile on his face.
Johnny the romantic.
Ugh.
They're in like the plane or whatever, and they fly over the cornfield or whatever. It says,
Yeah, they're in a hot air balloon. Yeah.
Gladiator comes up because they blackmailed Gladiator because he was cheating on his boyfriend and he was gay and everything.
He had a wife and kids, and he was in the closet, and he was hooking up with strange dudes.
I don't think he had wife and kids.
They said wife and kids. They said wife and kids because that's how Johnny. He was like.
At the end, it says he came.
The main thing Johnny does is like, well, we don't want your wife and kids to find out, do we? And that's when he's like about to punch him, and he's like, "You kill me, man," and it'll go out.
But like at the end, he's like, they came forward about the relationship and everything.
Yeah, and they're holding
like,
hands on the couch.
He's like, he's the most popular hero out there now.
Because he beat the shit out of the Praetorian.
And that's how you do the LGBT stuff, right?
Right, where it's not their personality. Their sexuality is not their... He just happened to be gay. He happened to be living a lie, and then he came out and he owned it, and now we all like him.
Yeah.
I would never want to commit crime around
him.
No, fuck that. Fuck that, dude.
The electric powers would be cool, but like I said, too stressful. My moral compass would be all over the place.
No, see, I'm thinking in terms of like, if I'm a villain, I'm obviously a homeless traveling villain.
I'm not going to want to be you know me, I don't want to be a villain, but I'd be like, yeah, but I also really need $20 right now.
That's what so we'd be villains.
That's why I'm saying it'd be like.
So like with the Sammy and Roddy thing, I don't even think
we'd be wrestlers.
Do they even have to eat?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't have to buy food or nothing. I could just walk around doing drugs.
I like the one scene Sammy sees his brother's liver. He's like, "Oh, you got to take it easy. Your liver looks like shit."
Take it easy on the booze, Roddy. Your liver's looking fucked up. Dude, what about when Roddy's fusing back together and there's two heads with independent thoughts speaking? Yeah, oh no way Sammy won. Yeah, he cheated. And it's like, what happens to the other head? Are there two Roddies?
Well, even at that point, they're like, I don't know what happens if my brain gets destroyed.
Which then they run through a thing and oh no, their heads never got touched. Yeah,
watching that, I'm like, lucky. I love that though.
All right, ready, set, and then Sammy just takes that.
Hey, he wins.
Gets his legs cut out from underneath.
That scene was brutal. And I like how I do like 4 minutes later.
39 seconds.
And Johnny's like, all right, I've had enough of this.
The Gladiator's like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And then it does a slow pan and it's just blood and body parts.
I love how Gladiator at the end just on the boat smiling, being like, that was fun.
Yeah, he was like, well, because...
He's like, you guys aren't that bad.
Yeah, because no kill and they robbed a villain. Like, is it really a crime?
Even at that point, after Gladiator beats up the Praetorian, he's like, did you kill him? We don't kill. He's like, no, he's all right.
I just gave him brain damage.
He's like, oh, okay.
Look, he's got brain damage, though.
He was a cool villain, though, the Praetorian. I love the cards. Like, just the design of him was just really cool.
You see him start shuffling the deck, and you're like, uh-oh.
And you see, like, how mentally he's just kind of going down till the end of the show. That was cool.
And I didn't know it was you, Gladiator. I'm sorry. And then he throws a sucker punch, and it just misses. And Gladiator's like, oh.
He did put up a pretty good fight, though.
That cool spinning kick when he came out of the vault, and then he gets him like up against the wall and starts
You tell the animation picked up a lot.
He starts doing that Taekwondo, like the Chun-Li, like kicks. Then he kicks him, and Gladiator just catches the punch. It's so cool.
But overall, yeah, I recommend this show.
I recommend it highly, too.
It might be one of my favorite newer animes I've seen in a while.
Oh, agreed. I mean, people keep trying to get me to watch My Hero Academia, and I'm like,
It's fine.
And like Vinland Saga, like I'm caught up, but I don't really care. So like this was fun.
Well,
it's been a while since I've seen something brand new that I got jazzed about.
The only animes I really want to keep going are obviously Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I want it to end.
Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm glad that ended.
I'm glad it ended. But dude, 3 tournament arcs in a row, like
Bleach. I don't know why they're bringing Bleach back.
Because fucking middle school girls love it.
Yeah, but the problem with anime is you have like fucking One Piece. It's like I don't want to fucking start this shit. You have Naruto, which is like how many episodes are in Naruto now? They're bringing that back to it, something.
Yeah, but Naruto at least is like, and as much shit as everyone talks about Naruto, at least it has like an arc. Yeah. Characters grow and change and stuff.
The frustrating thing about Bleach is I like the characters, so I didn't mind the filler stuff so much because they literally have seasons of just filler.
That's so dirty.
Like just filler that because they weren't caught up with the
That's so gross.
manga, which I wish I would just take breaks. But yeah,
Oh, the writer of Berserk died.
really?
We'll never get to know. He did get off the boat though. He did go to the ferry. You have no idea what. There was like years where Guts was on a pirate ship going to Fairy Island, and everyone was like, "When is he gonna get off the boat?" He will. He will. Don't worry about it. And he finally got off the boat. Everyone was like,
If you want to know our thoughts on Berserk,
"Yeah, this is kind of like
this
a
is our
Berserk
second
for me."
anime
Yeah.
review.
I didn't think I was gonna watch an anime, and then I did. I liked it.
I do want to make you watch Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist.
Bones did that one too.
Really? That's why it looks so good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. My problem with Full Metal is
It's so good. You
I
gotta
s-
watch Brotherhood though.
I saw the very first episode of Brotherhood, but then I saw the very last episode, and I was like, I think I got it.
It's
No, I
really
know.
good.
Colonel Mustang's cool with the finger, and then it's revealed he has a little flint and tinder. You can't just conjure fire. And the dude who punches the ground, and then the rock comes up and he
But hey,
hits
wait.
it.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, this
Look
was
forward
fun.
to more anime reviews, maybe
Yeah.
if we have time to watch full animes.
That's what was great. Honestly, if you're gonna take one thing away from this, it's fun, quick watch.
Yeah.